Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Harvest Moon Farm if you're new here. And if you're not new, welcome back. I appreciate you returning. My name is Mickey, for those who don't know. And today I've got a bunch of things that I want to get done. So I harvested my garlic a couple days ago. It's not as big as I would like. Didn't get as much as I would like, but I got more than I had when I started, so I'm good with that. So because these are a little banged up and I ended up breaking some of the tops off when I was pulling them, I'm going to go ahead and just process all of these in my food processor with a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm just going to use my small cookie scoop and I'm just going to freeze it in little scoops and then put it in a baggie, and then I can just pull it out. That'll be approximately 1 teaspoon. Well, my small cookie scoop is a 1 teaspoon, so then I'll have a teaspoon, which is roughly 1 clove. So we're going to take care of that. We're also going to take care of this ginger that I never got planted. So I'm going to wash that up, and we're going to run it. Ooh, we're going to throw away this rotten potato. Or it's going in the compost, it's not going in the trash. All right, let me make sure I have all my ginger out of here. Okay, so I'm going to process this ginger. I never got it planted. I'm just going to wash it up, cut it in pieces, and put it in my food processor. And then again, I'm just going to freeze it in little scoops that are approximately 1 teaspoon. And then I can use it in place of fresh ginger in any of my baking this winter or anytime that I need to use fresh ginger. The last thing is we dug up a bunch of our potatoes because something, I'm not sure what, some kind of bugs got onto the plants. One day they were lush and beautiful. The next day they were just twigs. So we went out and dug a bunch of them yesterday because I didn't want to leave them in the ground too long after the plants were dead. So they're pretty small. So I have a lot that are just like little baby potatoes. So we're going to go ahead and eat those this week. I have some that are bigger, so I'm going to lay those out and just make sure they get good and dry, and then I'm going to store them downstairs. As we got to the end though, so I had 3 double rows of potatoes, so they're about this far apart. The first 4, the plant was just dead twig. I mean, if you touch it, it just crumbled or snapped. But as we got to the far end, we got about halfway down that row, and I realized that some of the plants, or a lot of the plants, actually still had some green in them. So we stopped, and we're going to leave those and let them mature a little bit longer and see if we can get some bigger potatoes out of those. So we'll see what happens. But again, anything I got is more than I had before. And the soil that we have is not good really at all. And our garden space, this is the first year that it's ever been used for a garden in probably 50 years at least. This has all been hay for years and years and years. So it's been fertilized and that sort of thing, but it's not ever had like a vegetable garden. So it's going to take a while for it to be really producing well. So the last thing I want to try to get to today is my chickens that are in the refrigerator that I want to get cut up. I want to get them pieced out because I prefer the breast meat. So I want to get them all cut apart and processed and frozen, and frozen in vacuum bags that way. So we're going to start out with our ginger, and we'll see how far we get. All right, so I'm just going to cut these in chunks, and a lot of the reason I'm cutting them too is because they've been sitting. So I want to make sure that any bad spots get cut off of here. And I'm not even actually going to worry about peeling them. I'm just going to mince them up. Let's see here. few little spots on here that I want to get off, but so far not too bad. Oh, that's not it. It smells so good. Should have done this a couple weeks ago. So I should have done this a couple weeks ago because I knew they were starting to get soft and some of the places were starting to get a little brown. But, you know, life. You gotta do what you've got time for, and sometimes you just can't get everything done. Oh my goodness, yeah, this one. Cut these pieces off. So we had butchered our meat chickens. We had Cornish cross. I've been trying to get the garden weeded. It looks way better than it did, but still not perfect. But you know, it is what it is. You just do what you can do. But we have started to be able to harvest. So in addition to the garlic and the potatoes, I have also picked 1 cucumber and several zucchini. So, whoops, my plan for dinner tonight is to use zucchini, some of my little tiny baby potatoes that I picked, our own chicken that I'm going to be processing, you know, cutting up later, and then maybe a salad with some of our own lettuce, add the cucumber to it, and then pretty much everything will be something that came from our own homestead. So that will be wonderful. Alrighty, let's see how this goes. I don't know if I should add water to this, so I'm going to start off by not adding water and we'll see what happens. And I think I'm going to add, I need something that's going to kind of bind this together. I don't want to use olive oil because of the flavor. Maybe I'll just use just a little tiny drizzle of regular oil. And when I say regular oil, I just mean vegetable oil. So I'm not going to put very much in there at all. And we'll see how this goes. Okay, we get a spatula. So we had our family's 4th of July celebration on Saturday the 1st. That way everybody could, nobody had to work the next day. Everybody could go to their other side of the family on the 4th of July or to their friends or whatever. It just worked out well since we live so far out from everybody else. Whoops. So the ketchup that we had was ketchup that I'd made, homemade ketchup, which my grandkids were so sweet. They kept saying, "Grandma, this is the best ketchup I've ever tasted." So that was very sweet of them. But I had it with just the lid on without a ring, and I set it in the refrigerator when we were cleaning up after everybody was gone. And the refrigerator was really full. I'm sure you can guess where this is going. It started falling. I tried to catch it. I missed. The kitchen was completely clean. And a jar of ketchup dropped. We had ketchup splashed all the way over to the table, all the way over on the stove. And I just saw, my husband cleaned up some, I cleaned up some, and I just saw some drips on the front of this cabinet here that I'll need to get off of here. So it was not the way I wanted to end my day, but it was fine. We got it cleaned up. Although unfortunately, that was the last of the ketchup. Okay, so this is not going to make a super cohesive ball. Yeah. All right, so let's put this in a bowl so that I don't spill it everywhere. I think I'm gonna need to add some more oil. But I can't get my blade back in there now that I took it out until I get some of this cleaned up. All right, put the blade back in, put it back in there. Oops. Scoop all this back in. I was trying to use as little oil as possible, although this isn't going to give it a flavor, so that's fine, but I didn't really want to use much. All right, so let's try this again. So let's kind of stir this up and see if it's going to stick together better before I take everything apart. No, it's better, but it's still too wet, I guess, or too, I don't know, something. It's not going to stick together. And I just realized what I should have done instead. I have some little silicone trays. I should have just put it in the trays and froze it that way. So if this doesn't stick together, that's what I'm going to do. Too bad I added all that oil before I thought of that. Oh well. That's better, but I think I'm actually just going to put it in the trays. All right, so I've got these two little silicone trays. Go ahead and just kind of scoop some stuff in here, and then we'll spread it around and get it in all of these little openings. All right, so let's spread this one out. All right, so there's one, and that is actually about the same size, I think, as the scoops that I was trying to make. So that's about 2 teaspoons. Go ahead and set this on the baking sheet. All right. Go ahead and get the rest of this in the other sheet, or in the other mold. And if I have to, if this one's too full by just a little bit, I'll just spread some of this to the other tray, or to the other little mold, and we'll just have it be a little bit full, which will be fine. But I think this might actually be just about perfect for these two little molds. Okay, so I'm gonna go take this tray downstairs and put it in my freezer. So these little pucks or little circles, whatever, can start freezing. One thing I forgot to say earlier is I also had some onions. I had some onions that my mother-in-law had given us. And I had a few leftover onions that I had gotten from a previous Azure Standard order that were starting to sprout or starting to get soft. So all the ones that were still good, I chopped those up. Well, let me say that again. I did not chop them up. I sliced them up. And I put them ready to go into my freeze dryer. So the freeze dryer should be ready. So when I take these down, I'm gonna go ahead and stick those in the dryer and let those start processing. And when they are all dry, I'm going to powder those up, and then I'll have my onion powder that I haven't had for a little while. So I'm going to take these to the freezer, and I will be right back. All right, so while I was downstairs, I went ahead, the freeze dryer was ready, so I put my trays of sliced onion in there and got those going. So now I'm gonna wash all this other stuff out because I don't want my garlic to taste like ginger. Okay, so before I can do anything with my garlic, I've got to peel it all. So we're gonna start doing that. So I'm gonna wash it off first. Okay, and I'm still trying to decide about the garlic that is still has the stalk on it. I don't know if I want to try and just hang it and let it dry and keep that way, or I'm not sure. This is I want to say this is a soft neck variety, so I don't know how well this storage is. Oh, and whatever these are, they have humongous cloves. Look at this. This is a single clove. I don't remember what kind I bought. It wasn't elephant garlic. I know that because I did just order some elephant garlic for this year. Look at that beautiful clove of garlic. So I don't remember what variety this is. It's not an elephant garlic. And I don't even actually remember where I ordered it from. Gurney's maybe? Oh my gosh, is this just one? I think this is two grown together. So I actually might go ahead and try leaving these other cloves for a while. I will braid up the stems or tie them up or something and hang them downstairs where it's cool. And then I'll just check them periodically, and if they seem like they're starting to get soft or starting to sprout, then I'll go ahead and get them peeled and processed as well. I love the smell of garlic. This smells so good. We had these sitting in our mudroom since we had people over on Saturday. And when I just went in there to get them, it smelled like the whole room smells like garlic, which is not necessarily a bad thing. So I had my husband go out with me yesterday because I thought a bunch of my onions, like all I could see was one row. I couldn't see the other three. And so I thought that they had all completely died back. They hadn't. They were just the mulch and grasses and other stuff had just covered up the stalks. So we kind of raked around them and pulled some of the grass and stuff around them so that they can stand back up again. So they are still doing good. I thought I was going to have to go ahead and pull a lot of my onions yesterday, which they're nowhere near ready. We did have a few that we brought in because they accidentally got stabbed with the rake. So we'll go ahead and use those today, or this week I'll put them in a salad or something because they're small. Alright, so I'm just going to keep working at these. I have a few more left. Get these all peeled and then we'll start getting them processed and make them into our little scoops and get these into the freezer as well. And then we'll move on to our chicken. So I'll be back when I'm done peeling all this garlic. Okay, got the garlic all peeled. It's in my food processor. We're going to turn this on. All right, let's give this a check. And I think this is going to be fine. All right. So I'm gonna get this off the lid into my bowl. So I've got all of that garlic. Okay, so I've got my small cookie scoop, and I'm just going to put these out in little scoops like a small cookie. And I don't have to worry about getting them too close together since they're obviously not cookies. They're not going in the oven and spreading. This off my blade. Don't lose any of it. Okay. All right. There we go. Alrighty, so these are going to go downstairs to my freezer, and when they are frozen solid, I'm going to drop those into a baggie and put them back in my freezer. And then when I need a teaspoon or a regular size, a regular size, smaller clove, I can just pop one of these out of the bag and drop it into my recipe. All right. Our onions are done, or in the freeze dryer. So now I'm just going to get my blender and we're just going to blend these up into a powder. Hopefully I can get this far enough over to see. The sun is coming in this window and just about blinding me. Oops. Alright, gotta get me a jar to put these in. Go ahead and add, oops. Now I'm gonna go ahead and dump this. Go ahead and put what I've mixed in my jar. And then we'll put the other two trays in. And we'll blend those up and it'll be ready to go in my pantry. And this is a good way to use up those onions that are starting to kind of get soft or sprout, so that you don't just waste them. That smells really good. And there we go. A nice jar of onion powder, so I can stop using onion salt in place of it. And there we go. So that was really easy, and it's ready to go. Alright, there's our ginger and our garlic. I'm going to give my hands a good wash before I touch any of this. Alright, I think all the garlic can go in a quart bag. I'm not sure about the ginger, but I put my marker away. I wasn't done. Alright, so I'm going to say here, garlic, July 2023. Alright. Garlic's going to be pretty easy to just pull off the paper here. And we've got these nice little blobs of garlic that we can use, little scoops that we can use in our dishes when we need some garlic. The garlic fit well in just a single bag, and we'll have to see if that ginger will fit. Alright, wash my hands again so the ginger doesn't taste like garlic, because that wouldn't be good. Alright, let's see. Oh good, there we go. Little ginger pucks. So I'm just going to pop all these loose and put them in this bag, and I think they might all fit. We'll see. So close. I'm going to make this work. Maybe. All right, got it. All right, so ginger, garlic, these are going to go in the freezer. Okay, so that's going to do it for today. We took care of the garlic and the ginger. We took care of those onions. So I think we we had a good day. I just want to say thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, I would encourage you to consider subscribing. Not only does that help me out a lot, but it also lets you know when my next videos are uploaded and ready for you to take a look at. All right, so I am going to handle this mountain of dishes I've got behind me, and I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching.